Okay, we're live with
Woohoo!
Miss Bigwig herself, Catherine Morgan, and the interviewer extraordinaire with the most adorable kid on the planet, Ifat Cohen. And I'm just going to hand over to those two ladies because they're the ones you want to hear from, not me. Have fun.
Hi. Okay, my initial apologies.
iPhone. iPhone.
Okay, sorry about that. Hi, everyone. This is my little baby who needs to be center stage. And this is my first time meeting Catherine Morgan. How are you, Catherine?
Wonderful. How are you?
I am good. So tell us what you're about to do to your wonderful hair.
So on Monday, May 28th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I am going to shave my head for St Baldricks. It is a foundation that raises money for children's cancer research.
Wow, and so what made you do that?
It was kind of a whim. A girlfriend and I were talking one night, and I was bored. I had heard about the St. Baldricks organization before, and once again, I missed their shaving event up at one of the bars. They had a huge event here in town, and she said to me, well, you should do an online event. So now I'm doing this online event for St. Baldricks.
Isn't it like the scariest thing to shave your head? I wouldn't do it.
Everybody have been far more upset about it than the men. Oh God, I can't believe you're doing this. This is so scary. But these kids, one of the kids I'm sponsoring, she was diagnosed when she was 2 years old, and she died before she had turned 8. I can't even imagine having my life be that way. So what's a little hair in comparison to that?
That's a great way of looking at it. Your profile picture actually has all your hair behind it. Are you going to change your profile picture?
Yeah, once my hair's shaved off, I'm going to change it to the bald head. I'm going to get people a picture of the back of my head so they can see it's really all gone.
And so what are you, you were raising money, right, using Google Plus and social media. So how was that process for you?
Very, very weird. I've done fundraising events before, and I've raised, a couple $100, nothing big. But when I told just my small group of friends that I was doing this, they went crazy. I pretty much haven't done anything. I've sat there and looked cute. They've all done all the fundraising for me and spread the word and posted a million times. Catherine McGuire actually went hunting down corporate sponsorship for me, and Fergus Martin, I think, has posted more than any human being ever about this event. They have been my main cheerleaders. They're amazing. But then there's been people like Tiffany, who just anytime she was posting about her stuff, Tiffany Henry, she was posting about my stuff too, or at least tell people that I was doing something. Tiffany and I never knew each other before we got involved with this. This is amazing. I can't even begin to express how stunned I am at the support I have gotten from everybody in this community.
Well, that's what we're all here for, right? It's a new level of friendship based on interest, so it's awesome. So what results do you see so far? Like what happened with the fundraising? How much were you able to raise? How much do you want to raise? Where you want to take it?
My goal was to raise $5,000, and I still can do some fundraising after I've actually shaved my head. but as of my last checking, we had just under $2,200. I want to say it was $2,195. So yeah, we were doing pretty good. I was hoping to be at the halfway point before the end of the day today. By midnight my time, I was hoping to be to the halfway point. And then I'm hoping I'll get the other half before they shut down my fundraising page.
So where is it? Where can people donate and support you?
If you go to stbaldricks.com/participants/a-dreaming-one, all spelled out, all one word, you'll find my page. Another way you can search for me is if you go to St Baldricks' main page, go under participants and do a search for participants. Search for Catherine Morgan. I'm the girl with the red sweater and the green mittens, who's giggling. Yeah, 2 ways you can find me.
And also they can find you on Google+, and do you have a link for that on your profile?
Yes. Well, I have so many public posts that yes.
So basically they go to your profile and they can find you from there.
Yeah, yeah.
And so how are you and Tiffany? I know Tiffany is running for cancer, right? Tomorrow, Tiffany?
Not tomorrow, June 3rd.
June 3rd, but tomorrow you're traveling to San Francisco?
So a week from now?
No, tomorrow I'm actually going to LA. I'm going to be out of New York for the entire week because it's just basically celebrating in anticipation for the race. But the actual race is on June 3rd in San Diego.
And you're also raising money, right, for cancer?
Yes, I am.
And not only raising money, you're running.
Yes, I'm raising money with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Their main project is blood cancers, but they also give money to other cancers as well. And that's another reason I decided to work with them, because it's not just cancer for children, you know, it's cancer for children, adults, you know, any age whatsoever.
And so you're running a marathon, right?
Yes.
That's a big undertaking regardless of the charity.
I've actually done this before. I ran the half marathon last year with Team in Training and LLS, Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And this year I decided to do the full because, well, my grandmother contracted cancer, endometrial cancer, in January. So I decided to up the ante, and I always said that I was going to do a full marathon, you know, after running the half. So it's a big undertaking, but you know what? The fact that my grandmother is here now and she looks amazing, she looks even better than she did, you know, before getting cancer, is because of all the money that goes into cancer research and cancer treatments.
So can I bring up something controversial?
Yeah.
There's a movie that's coming out, Pink Ribbon. Have you heard of that?
Pink Ribbon, no.
It's I just saw the trailer on Apple, and basically it's women saying that the Pink Ribbon of the Komen Foundation, women are saying that the foundation was taking all that money and not investing it in cancer research, and rather using it for foundation. And both of you are doing something where you are contributing to a charity, not directly to a person. So how do you feel about that? How do you know that your efforts are actually counting toward research and helping people?
You want to go first, Tiffany?
I think she froze.
Okay.
Oh, I did? Oh, okay.
So the answer to your question is that I can never know definitively that everything that I'm doing is going to the best possible, something everybody's going to like organization. In fact, I've gotten quite a bit of hate mail because of my donation to Locks of Love. So I have a lot of hair that before I shave my head is going to get cut off and donated to Locks of Love. And I've gotten some hate mail about it because people don't like the organization. They don't approve of it for different reasons. But the fact of the matter is, all of their complaints I already knew about. I knew that they charge on a sliding scale fee for their wigs. I knew that any adult hair that gets donated, they don't use because they only make wigs for children. But instead what they do is they sell the hair to make money so that they can make more wigs. So I knew all of that. I didn't find any of that surprising, and I found all of it reasonable things to be doing, since they were a nonprofit organization trying to do the right thing. They've got to find some way to pay the people who make the wigs and run their administrative services, and I think that that's important. You wanted to say something, Em?
Yeah, and by the way, you guys can call me Monica. So one way that you can tell whether a charity is worth donating to is by going to www.charitynavigator.org. And they rate charities on a transparency basis. They analyze their finances. They see what money is going where. They put it in a percentage graph. Like, for example, when I go to the page for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, I can see that program expenses take up 74.2% of their budget, which is really pretty good. They are ranked, they've got 3 stars out of a 4-star rating. The worst charities will have like 1 star, because they may not submit all their financial documentation, or they may be doing something weird with the funds. But I, like, before I shared all this and was like, donate to Tiffany's cause, like, I went to Charity Navigator, was like, yep, it's legit. Like, this is definitely a worthwhile, organization that runs efficiently and effectively. And so anybody can look up any type of charity that way.
You can also find any of that information about LLS by going directly to LLS's website. They put all that information out there. So, in my opinion, if you want to donate to a charity, or if you want to fundraise for a charity, if the charity is not willing to put all that information public on their website, then don't.
Right.
Don't support.
St Baldricks has hundreds of pages, and no, you know what? I didn't go and check. The reason why I'm participating with them is this is going to sound very screwy, and only people who've ever lived in my town will get this. But Ithacans are kind of uptight. My hometown is Ithaca, New York. And when Ithacans in large numbers start supporting a charity, there's been about 5 million other people who did what you guys are talking about. Because if they didn't, I'm not joking, people protest outside the fundraising events. So St Baldricks has had, I don't know how many events in the Ithaca area in the last year. I keep hearing about one, it seems like every other month. So I trust my town. It sounds kind of screwy, but I do. So
You're basically going local, right?
Pardon me?
You're basically going local and trusting the people in your community.
I am. I believe that the people in Ithaca are really motivated to do the right thing to the best of their ability. So when the people of Ithaca in large numbers support an organization, I trust that. I trust the people in the area. And I'm not even talking like my friends. I'm talking people I've never met before and I have no expectation of ever meeting in my life. I'm holding big group functions to support Team in Training, to support St Baldricks, to support Locks of Love. The Locks of Love thing I did do some research into because I had heard somebody me go, maybe I should do a little more about these guys. But I didn't find anything that made me go, hey, this is an organization I shouldn't be supporting. Everything I found from them made sense to me. But it's good to know that such, watchdog organizations are out there.
Yeah, because you guys are not only investing your time, but like, your efforts, and aside of whatever you're doing personally, you're also getting a lot of people involved. So yes, it's good to know that the cause is good.
And a part of it is the people that do get involved. I tell anyone before donating to my page, do your research. Before donating to any charity, definitely do your research. How I got involved with LLS and Team in Training is I had a friend who's done a couple of events for them, not just marathons. And we had talked about running marathons for a long time, and it was actually one of my, things on my bucket list. And I told her the next one that she does to let me know. And she sent me a message. She gave me all the information. She said, I've already signed up. I think you should sign up. I think you'll love this. I immediately went onto charitynavigator.com because I'd known about the website, dealing with so many charities over the years. I went on to LLS, and I found out that their information is actually public. Also went on to Team in Training, asked a couple of people about it that already knew about it. Everyone raved about the team. Everyone raved about the charity. So I decided to get involved. And when I started fundraising for them last year, everyone who even considered supporting me, I said, you know what, I'm not going to sit here and pitch this to you. I want you to have this knowledge yourself, because knowledge is power. Go on the website, let me know what you think, and if you want to support me, then go ahead. But definitely do your research before donating to any charity. And I'm saying this as a backer of a charity. I'm saying this as a backer of a charity because of what happened with the Susan G. Komen Foundation, and I was very, very, very upset. Very, very disappointed, because I donate to them and support them every single year until what happened last year.
Yeah, they are such a huge mammoth organization with so much money and so much power that they also have kind of a separate agenda nowadays. And it's a completely different thing than these two charities.
To tell you the truth, every charity has...
You can't find out about it. There's some things that you can't find out about a charity, though, from that website. Things like, last year my office decided to participate in the Relay for Life. The entire office got involved, and we raised money, and we went to the relay, only to find out that because I'm a person with a disability and I have a service dog, I was not welcome. They actually told me to leave 6 different times. How the people train their volunteers, how they interact with the community, those kinds of things you can't find out from Charity Navigator. Hope that some place like Yelp has information about them, but not necessarily.
Well, Wikipedia is a good resource too. Like, you can find all about the Susan G. Komen
You go to Wikipedia and you look up Relay for Life, and they don't say anything about the way they treat the disabled persons that show up to their relays.
Well, and that's something. Is that a fault of the organization, or is that just bad volunteers?
When I contacted the regional director, the person who's in charge of this area of the world, she had nothing to say. In fact, I wrote her several times trying to get some kind of, resolution to the problem, and nothing. Got nothing from them.
Well, what she did was actually illegal, because the Americans with Disabilities Act specifies that you should have that right. So really, I suspect it was one individual, and don't let it bring you down. Like, sorry about that, but
individuals.
Yeah, but usually with things like that, is the individuals just have no clue.
And that's the problem. What I'm saying is that those are other things that I personally want to take consideration when I'm participating with a volunteer organization, with an organization that depends on people like me and Tiffany to raise money for them. I want to know those things, and those things aren't publicly listed.
Well, having worked for a charity before, I do know that sometimes the people who have time to volunteer are not always the people you want to volunteer. which is not a nice thing to say, but it does happen. And I try not to judge a charity according to the volunteers, because not everybody who is trying to screen volunteers or trying to manage a large group of volunteers for a large event is necessarily qualified to do that. Most charities that I've worked with have been peopled by lots of very passionate people about a cause who aren't necessarily that good in terms of business and leadership. And that sometimes affects a charity much more adversely than anything else does. So I just wanted to throw that out there and then hand back to you, Fat, to take over again.
So my other question is actually, Tiffany, you said that your grandmother had cancer and you saw her improve with the treatment, and that actually what made you want to participate?
Well, what made me want to participate is that she did contract cancer, and before her, we've never, ever had cancer in our family. This is actually a first for us. So when it did happen, you know, it was a very scary and stressful point for all of us. You know, when I was more in despair, more, I don't know what else to do. You know, I want to just like grab it out of her body and just throw it into the Hudson, you know, like something. You know, I wanted to do something. And, you know, I did this last year. I remember how much support I got. I remembered how much fun, you know, it was. And, you know, how great a charity LLS is. So decided to go ahead and do it.
And it's not just about a dollar amount whenever you're raising money for any cause. It's about the feeling of positivity that you get, that you can actually work to change this sort of thing.
Yep.
Because cancer is the ultimate scary demon. You know, it's the thing that haunts us in our nightmares. But to feel that we can be empowered and run a race and raise money for it, you know, like puts a lot of positivity
cut your hair.
out there.
Or even cut your hair, you know, for kids. I mean, anything that you can do. I mean, we all have our ways of, you know, when we feel like we want to contribute and we want to do something, we all have our ways of doing that.
Yeah, we do. We all have our limitations that some of us have to live within. I mean, I'd love to run a marathon someday, but not with my knees. And I can't grow my hair long, so all I can do is just promote people like you, Tiffany, and you, Catherine, and hope that with my promotions, you guys keep raising more money. So you guys keep doing this. I'll keep pushing it.
Still shave it off.
Ayub, it's so funny. I think I said that to Catherine on a post. You know, I said, Catherine, I could never do what you do. And Catherine was like, well, I could never do what you do. You know, like my hair isn't long enough to cut off, you know, for lots of, maybe it is, I don't know. But, you know, I like my hair. So I just run.
I shaved mine off. It wouldn't make any difference anyway, but yeah.
Well, Tiffany, did you see, was your grandmother getting any help from any charity, and did you see that research or any advancement that are happening actually helped her with her struggles?
My grandmother actually had very, very good doctors. We caught it, I believe she was stage 3, which was bad, but was still pretty good considering how early we caught it, how, you know, early on we caught it. And I think a big part of why she improved so much was because of how my family is. Like we don't really, we're not like the, you know, up in arms family, like we're skipping down a yellow brick road together like every single day. But you know, what happened to my grandmother definitely brought us a lot closer together. And I've had so much advice from people, mainly to, you know, keep her spirits up, you know, tell her some jokes, you know, take her out, you know, stuff like that. And I think the support was definitely a huge part of it. As for the cancer treatments, what she did, she had surgery to remove the tumor. She had a hysterectomy. And the doctor said that he was able to remove everything, which is good. And then he suggested we do the chemotherapy just in case there were traces of it left. So I think definitely what contributed is the fact that we have people like myself and Catherine that, will raise these funds. And just to let you know, another thing that LLS does is they do help cancer patients. We had in the Hangout-a-thon segments that I had with Tom Rolfson, we had a guy stop into one of them. His name is William Holly. He's actually here on Google+. I can link his profile in the chat. When he got sick with throat cancer, LLS helped him with his surgery. They paid for a part of his surgery, and they also paid for his treatment.
Wow, that's huge help.
Yeah, so I actually have American Cancer Society to thank for helping my grandmother, and of course she has a good health insurance plan. So, I think that definitely contributed.
And now I have a question for Catherine. Catherine, did you find that other people wanted to join you and shave their heads and join the cause like that?
Nope. I've had lots of people terrified that I was asking them to shave their heads, but nobody has stepped up and volunteered to do it.
Well, you're picking a good time of year to do it. Like, in solidarity for the cause, I'm showing this picture that I don't normally show. Like, this is when like my hair was falling out after I did chemo. And like, I decided I would just shave the rest off because it was falling out in big clumps. And, I took a picture. But like, the time of year is everything. Like, you don't realize how insulating your hair is to your head.
People. I was actually gonna ask about that picture, but yeah. Carry on, Catherine.
Catherine said that I have such beautiful hair. Convinced that Fergus and Suzanne were never going to. So. But like I was saying before, it's. I'm sorry. I should stop. I'm reading and trying to talk to you guys at the same time, and I can't do that. So I need to stop reading what you guys are saying.
We're distracting her. We're distracting her.
You are.
Don't worry. Like, Catherine, you will look wonderful. Like, you have it's hard to describe. Like, I found out when I ended up, shaving the rest of it off, that I have an oddly shaped head. And, like, I was like, oh, man, this really doesn't look good. But, like, your face is beautiful, and, like, you don't have to worry about, you're still going to look great.
I actually think Catherine would, I was thinking about this today. I actually think Catherine would look good with a shortcut. Like, she has the head and the face for it. And that's one of the reasons I could never do this, because I have a very big face and a very big forehead and a very big head. So
yeah,
imagine my big head, big bald head walking around. No, you don't want to see that.
Well, that's why you have hats, right?
Yes, I have to tell you, I've dug out every baseball cap I have ever purchased in my entire life. Courtney Dahl, who's doing the silent auction for me, she's trying to raise funds by doing a silent auction for the hat and mitt set. She's making the hat for me so that I can have that hat too. So yeah, I am going to wear more hats over the next couple of months while my hair is growing back in than I think I ever have in my entire life. Not because I'm upset about having no hair, it's because I'm terrified of getting sunburn on my scalp. I'm like, that's the last thing I need.
Yeah, big floppy straw hats will be good, and like, if there's also crazy wigs, like if you have well, most areas only have like them at the Halloween stores, but like we have a year-round costume store here in Boulder, so I got a crazy kind of Japanime wig. I'll put it on if you want to see. But I used to wear this, and it was immensely warming, which is great. And then I wear a hat on top of that because it's cold in the Denver area. But you can have a lot of fun with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can be a blonde, Catherine.
I don't think I do blonde so well, but I think redhead would be brilliant.
Definitely.
There's also
I've
the
had
spirit.
so
Oh,
much
she's talking.
support.
Oh, go ahead, Catherine. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I've had so much support with this. So, Catherine McGuire and company came up with the tagline of BigWig. So if you get BigWig, you'll find me and Tiffany. There's posts for Tiffany as well. But everybody this weekend is going to be donning their big wigs and changing their abbeys in support of me, which is brilliant. I think that's amazing.
It is actually. It's very nice to see how viral things are happening, right? Are you gonna do the shaving on air?
Yes, I am. And Tom Rolston just confirmed that he's going to be my host. So
That's awesome. And is there like a special way that you need to cut it so other people, so then they can use it?
well, the guidelines say that it just needs to be neat. So they want it in a ponytail or a braid. So we're going to do 2 braids, one either side of my head, and cut the braids off, and then ship them out. And then everything else is just getting shaved off.
That is very courageous. I want to be there watching it, watch it happen.
Everybody keeps saying that, and like I said, these kids, what they go through, that's courageous. This is a fashion statement. This is not a big deal at all in comparison to what they go through and what they do. A little girl who died before her 8th birthday.
They did not choose to have cancer, and you're choosing to cut off your hair, and it's a little different, I think. It's not, they have to go through it. And you have a choice of just being pretty and going around with your long hair and enjoying it, and actually you're doing something. So it is courageous. And
in my mind, I don't. That's no choice. In my mind, I have to do this. It's the least I can do. The very least I can do. It's not acceptable to just ignore this. I have to do something, even if all it is cut my hair.
Well, it's really powerful because you'll be, a role model for. It's really tough for kids to look different when they're young. So you're basically, by standing up there and being like, I don't mind it. Like I knew friends that would shave their heads for St Baldricks, but they were all male, so it was different. Like you are the first woman I have known who has willingly undergone that, and props to you because it's tough.
Actually, Catherine is actually the second woman I know who did this. A friend of mine, very close friend of mine, who is sadly not on the plus, which is a reason for me to revile her, but I never will. She did exactly the same thing that Catherine's doing. She did the shaving for St Baldricks and then donating the hair to Lots of Love, which is one of the reasons why I knew all about the organizations before Catherine even started. This is also why I decided that, yes, this needs to be sent out. And if you remember, we did the hair bands for BigWig a couple of Fridays ago, which was a hell of a lot of fun. But yeah, it's good stuff. So I just wanted to ask Catherine a quick question. The hate mail, how did that make you feel?
It was very upsetting, honestly. I'm trying to do a good thing here, and I'd like to believe that what I'm doing is a good thing. So having people attack me personally, not the organizations, not the events, but me personally, was really hard. I had one guy, he wrote a 5-page long message to me about how it wanted the human race by not allowing these people to die. And that's basically what it was. It just went on and on like I was dumbfounded. Absolutely dumbfounded that people could hold that opinion. It's a disease, you know?
Well, don't let it take you down, you know, because, ooh, there's some echo. Like, that's too bad that they said that, but they're wrong, and that makes me very angry. You know, just, I'm sorry that you received mail like that. That's one of the pitfalls of social media, is that people can write something like that, but that's one of the powerful things about Hangout. I doubt that person would come in here and dare say that to your face.
Of course not. And you know what? I want to add something to that. You see, the thing about it is, I've received hate mail myself, lots of it. You know, even here on Google Plus, like I've actually had people personally message me, and charities do get a lot of flack because of this whole Susan G. Komen nonsense. So I do believe that my donations have been slow to come in because people are so untrusting of these organizations. And the people that are behind them and the people that are supporting them, like me and Catherine, of course, you know, Catherine, you and I are their ambassadors. Okay, so if people can't go to them, you know, directly and personally and say what they have to say, they see you supporting them and they're going to come to you. They're going to come to you and they're going to come to me. Now, what I've done is I usually I kill it with kindness. Like, I had a guy come on a post that I did yesterday because we all made FTK cancer trend. And you guys remember the post that I did where I said that I was spamming and plus wanting, you know, all the comments in all the posts in the stream. When I put that post up, I was actually doing so, and I commented on a guy's post, a guy who said that I think his aunt currently had cancer and his father and his mother died of it. So I went in and I was chatting with him a bit. I was putting a little empathic, messages, saying, listen, this is why we're doing this. Anything I can do to make him feel better, because his post was just filled of so much pain. Like, he went to the FCK cancer stream and he posted from it and he said, you know what? I'm really upset that this is trending right now because I really don't want to even think about cancer, what with my mom, my dad dying from it, and now my aunt going through it. So I went on to try to offer some comfort. He saw my post about spamming all the posts in the FCK cancer stream with +1s and comments and decided to come on my post and say, oh, I actually thought you were someone who cared about people with cancer and wanted to do something. You're probably just scamming money out of all these people, all these cancer patients, just like all these organizations do. And I said to him, I said, no, I meant spamming in a good way, as in offering words of empathy and comfort and just generally chatting with people who dared to use that hashtag in the stream today, and to thank them for doing that. But it was great to chatting with you on the post, and I wish you all the best of luck in your, in your best wishes to your family. But that's usually what I do. Like, when we were doing the Hangout-a-thon segments, I got blocked, I got encircled by people because of all my friends, all my, supporters, you guys spamming the stream with posts about it. And especially with the hashtag yesterday, I'm pretty sure lots of you in this Hangout got encircled by people for it. But you know what? So what? For every person that's going to encircle you, for every person that's going to block you, for every person that's going to come on a post and decide to be big on the internet, because that's the only way and the only place that they can be big, there will be a billion other people that will support you. And I just want you to remember that.
I can definitely say that those people who support you are much bigger than those who try to be big. Exactly.
And their support, that bigness that Ayub is talking about, it by far overwhelms any hate mail you will receive. Small potatoes, that hate mail.
Yeah, and I just want to point out to anybody watching that if you believe in karma, I would suggest that you definitely not hate on cancer patients, because I'm just saying it's not a wise trend. Like, support these people that are going through tough times. You know, it's essential, because at some point in your life you will be going through one as well.
Yeah. I mean, if you saw that stream yesterday, if you see how cancer devastates the lives of people, I don't think that guy, if he had a heart, Catherine, would have said what he said to you. Some of those messages were so full of pain. Go ahead.
But you never know also. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Catherine.
One of the things that I learned a long time ago is that hurt people hurt people. You know, people who have spent their lives in pain and suffering for whatever reason. You know, it doesn't even matter what the reason is. They are more motivated to, you know, do the misery loves company thing, you know, where they try other people down to where they are, because then their pain doesn't seem so bad. It doesn't seem so extreme, and it's hard.
Sorry, Catherine, to interrupt, but that's one reaction to pain. But I mean, you yourself have a fair history with pain, and I can see 3 or 4 people here who have also had a fair history with pain, and none of you guys do that. So you guys are just examples to those people who decide to just give pain rather than, you know, help heal.
Well, it's a choice. Yeah. You know, it's all the way you look at it, and basically part of that is we should probably just ignore the haters, because they'll always be there. Like, but I do want to tell anybody who's just tuned in and does not know that the money that's being raised is to legitimate sources. You can check them out on Charity Navigator. They are compliant with all laws. None of these people in the Hangout receive any funding from any, you know, of the fund drives. And running a marathon and shaving your hair are not easy tasks. They're not super fun. Like, either they're tough.
I mean, these are the same people who will call for change all the time and call for progress. Well, Catherine and I are doing that. We're actually doing something. You know, what is it that you're doing that's so wonderful that you want to try to stop ours? You know, and that's how I think about it. I mean, Catherine, right now, I think you said you fundraised, I think you said you gained like $200 in the span of an hour. I just got like $200, yeah. You know, like just from being in here alone. I am $400 away. Honey, that guy, whatever.
Amen. Amen to that.
You know, I do have to say, I am absolutely astounded. I hadn't done the team in training. I've got their stuff comes to me every spring when they start recruiting. And I keep thinking, I'd love to do that, but there's no way I could raise that much money. Well, I just proved myself wrong this year. So I was telling my boss, you know, I'm seriously considering doing the team in training next year, because he's a runner. My boss is a runner. And he said, "Have you to train with?" And I'm like, maybe. So, you know, next year maybe I'll do the team in training. You know, maybe I won't do St Baldricks again. Maybe I'll do team in training next year. That's, I mean, something else that I try to do is I try to spread the wealth, you know. I try to find organizations that are doing good and help them out. In big organizations, little organizations, you know, our local SPCA, I've done fundraising for them just because when I was in a position when I couldn't afford to buy food for my dog, they gave it to me. No questions asked, just I called them up and I said, hey, I need help feeding my dog, and they helped me out, so I turned around and helped them out when I could. That's the way it works in my mind. You know, maybe I'll never need the funds that go towards all this cancer research, but members of my family have. So I feel like I'm paying a debt here. I know the organizations don't think of it that way, but I do. I feel like it's doing good. It's paying back what they have given me. Even if it was only a couple years more of life, it was a couple of years I wouldn't have gotten otherwise.
Yep. Are you going to get a picture of the girl with your hair?
Yes, we're going to do the live hangout, and she and I are going to do pictures, and yeah, there'll be tons of stuff.
That's
We'll show
awesome.
the great
That's
dog.
like, that's awesome.
I just want to be notified of one picture because I'm going to be out of town. So I just want to look up my phone and see a picture knowing that it's done, and I'm good. I'll just show it to all my friends like, look, 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 strides in cancer, people. She did it. And that's it.
Absolutely, you totally will. There will be a picture for just you, Tiffany.
Just so I can show people on the street too, because I'm gonna be on the streets of Las Vegas and LA like, hey, you know, I'm gonna run a marathon, I'm gonna be fundraising for cancer. Look, my friend shaved her head. You want her to grow it back? Donate.
Well, you're gonna have to get the before and after shots, you know. We're gonna have to do the this is what she was like before.
I'm gonna download your picture, either your Avi or your picture from your page, and just have it like make like a composite or something, have them next to each other, and say, look what my friend did for someone in your family who went through cancer. Donate.
Hey, Catherine, can I like ask, do you have a children's hospital near you? Because it might be a really cool thing if you just go to visit. Like, you know, I had the experience of when I was a teenager, like being in the hospital and having a very altered appearance. And I know that, like, having someone who, you know, like, is basically showing solidarity would really help boost their spirits.
I think that Strong up in Rochester, which is about a 2-hour drive if you have a car, has a children's ward. But Cayuga Medical, which is the hospital locally, doesn't. So, well, you know, not for long-term patients, not for long-term care. So, yeah.
Yeah, if it's a small hospital, I can understand.
It's a very small hospital. PE had asked a little bit more about the process. PE, what was it specifically that you wanted to know?
Am I still muted?
No, I hear you.
We can hear you.
I muted myself, so I didn't want to make noise. I'm curious because I know that there are some sort of requirements that Locks of Love in particular has. It can't be chemically treated hair. I'm just wondering the amount of hair that they look for in terms of length of hair, and how you are actually going to be going about doing this. So take me through the whole process of the half hour or so it's going to take you to have your hair cut, how you package it, send it off, all of those things. I think that there are other people who might be interested in how the process actually works.
So for Locks of Love, they require a minimum of 10 inches of healthy hair. So what that means is if you've got a lot of dead ends down at the bottom, that's going to be considered unhealthy hair. So basically everything from my rubber bands down, they'd probably get rid of. Excuse me for a minute, I got to close the window.
Yes, and that proves to everybody watching that this is actually live.
So that's not going to count. But everything between there and my scalp is healthy. It's not dyed. It's not got funny lengths in it, so I don't have really long layers. It's just all one length, and it's not treated in any way. So I haven't had any permanence. I haven't dyed it, because all of those things make your hair not count.
Right.
Now, because I'm an adult, my hair is really only useful for adult wigs. Locks of Love will do wigs for children up to, I think it was 21 years old, which means that my hair could be used for the older kids, but it can't be used for like a 10-year-old. But there is the possibility that they have an overabundance of hair. And so they might sell my hair to some other wig maker who makes wigs for adults. that money gets rolled back over into the organization if they make the choice to sell it. I have no control over what they do with my hair. Once I give it to them, it's theirs.
So you package it up and send it off via FedEx? I mean, where does it go? Is it like a central hair?
Yeah, it goes into an envelope, and you mail it to Blocks of Love has on their website a mailing address. You send it to them. That's it. A girlfriend and I got one of those bubble packages. You know what I'm talking about, the envelopes that have bubble wrap inside. We're going to stick it into that and send it off.
And with the best wishes, right? I mean, because you don't control what happens. I actually have an 8-year-old niece who donated her hair twice to Locks of Love. So I'm familiar with the way that it works here in Canada, where she hooked in with an organization who cuts the hair off and sends it on her behalf. And she did fundraising in addition to that to have the hair made into a wig, because it's not a free process, right? And you can give them hair, but it's also great if you can raise funds to help them actually make that wig. And with a child, it's a guarantee that they're going to use the hair, whereas it's not a guarantee for an adult that they'll use the hair.
Right, exactly. And, you know, they do have a sliding scale fee. You know, if you're dirt poor and you can barely afford to buy food and your child's sick, they're not going to charge you for the wig. But if you're, you know, bringing in $100,000 a year and, you know, drive a Rolls Royce, they're going to charge you for it. Yeah. So they do have ways of recouping some of their expenses, just not all of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, and hair is really expensive. Like, I think most people don't realize, like, a real hair wig is so expensive. That's why when I lost my hair, I got, you know, a purple one, or sorry, green one, and a, you know, one. I tried to match my normal one as much as possible, so I also had a black one. But to buy a real hair wig is hundreds and hundreds of dollars if you want good quality.
Mm. If you want actual real hair. And as a black woman who used to wear tracks, I can attest to that. It's very, like, the more human the hair, the more expensive. It's one of the reasons why I stopped, because it's not within my budget. So, yeah.
Yes, and unfortunately these children don't have a choice. You know, I mean, they don't have a choice to include it in their budget or not. I mean, in all practical ways, we'd like to have young children in particular have at least as close to normal an existence as possible. Right? Mm-hmm. And donating hair is such a wonderful thing to do.
It's part of the reason why I'm making this donation. It just, you know, no matter how Locks of Love chooses to make use of my hair, they are going to benefit from it. It just seems like a good way to make use of something that otherwise would be a waste. Otherwise, my hair would just be getting dropped onto the floor and thrown out, you know. There are other ways to make use of human hair. There are organizations out there that collect the hair to clean up oil spills. They also actually collect my husky's hair, qualifies for that. So, you know, there's other things that can be done with it if your hair's too short and you decide you want to do the St Baldricks thing, but you can't do Locks of Love or similar type organizations. There are other places where you can donate your hair and it's not just going to go into landfill. But since I do have untreated, very long hair, it seems ridiculous to me to not let somebody make a wig out of it. You know, whoever gets my hair is going to have a really nice head of hair with their wig. So, not to brag, but...
No, brag, please.
You do it yourself. Like, go ahead, brag.
It's really, like, it's really important for kids to feel, you know, like, giving them a wig when they've lost their hair helps them feel more safe and secure. Like, going through cancer is already so scary, and they're isolated from their classmates a lot of the time. They feel sick. But if you can give them some of their image back, like the way that they felt comfortable before they got sick, you're doing a lot for them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, to draw this close, to to a close somehow, considering we're all having a lot of fun. I'm going to ask Catherine and Tiffany to give us just a spiel, a speech, convince anybody who watches later on, anybody who's watching now, to donate for their cause, for both causes. Just a couple of minutes each, starting with Catherine. Go.
I
love
yes,
doing
Catherine
that. I'm evil.
Is that was kind of mean, yeah. So as Catherine McGuire just reminded me, the BigWig hashtag will get you specifically to information. But if you do the FCK cancer, that'll get Tiffany or I. I can't say enough good about St Baldricks and the work that they do. They are trying to find a way to make sure that no child on this planet ever again has to have cancer, that they never have to live with that. I don't know any better thing for an organization to be doing. And they're volunteer driven, so you know it's people like me and Tiffany. Tiffany's not doing St Baldricks, but people who just donate their time and say, hey, I want to help out and do a good thing, they deserve your money. If there's any organization out there that deserves your money, St. Baldricks is one of them. So give $1, give $5, whatever. Give what you can give. You know, go without Starbucks for a day and donate $2.50. Ayub and Lori and a couple other people put out challenges to 1,000 of their followers to donate $1. 1,000 people donated $1, another $1,000 overnight. You don't have to donate a lot to make a big difference. And thanks, everybody. I appreciate you all watching.
So guess what? You just got a donation from me. And I encourage anybody watching, like, I just donated. You want to be as cool as me? Donate. For real, though.
Nobody's as cool as you.
Yeah, Monica is way cool. She did the same thing to me in the Hangout segments that we had together. She just said, hey, if you want to be cool, donate to Tiffany's cause. But I'm just going to say, I'm going to repeat, some very wise words that a friend of mine, Brett Bjornson, said in another Hangout we have. Even if you are mistrusting of me or mistrusting of LLS, find another cause to donate to. I mean, cancer is one of the deadliest diseases out there. I'm not going to say it's the deadliest. It's one of the, and I could throw a stone right over my balcony right now, hit someone, and that person will most likely have an experience with cancer. And it could happen to anyone. That's the scary part. I never knew it would happen in my family. I never knew, that my friend would die from it last year and that another friend would die a month after. It's never happened in my family before my grandmother, and it was a wake-up call. And I really hope that we find a cure in our lifetimes so that there are no more wake-up calls. So like Catherine said, $1, $5, $10, 1,000 of you guys that are circling me, you want to make $1 donation? That's another 1,000 that goes towards a person like William Holly, who had throat cancer and he was able to get surgery and able to get treatments for it. $1,000 alone is enough for a chemotherapy treatment. So make a donation today, guys, and thanks to everyone that's listening. Thanks to everyone that's donated and supported this cause. Oh, and for me, another hashtag that can be used, I'm sorry, you, but another hashtag that can be used to find Catherine and I's posts is hashtag FCK You all know what that word is. I'm not going to say it. It's FCK cancer.
Yes.
Because, yes,
FCK cancer. Okay, I'm going to end the live portion of this Hangout, but if you guys want to hang around and still talk for a while, that's cool with me. Just want to say goodbye to anybody watching, anybody who's watched the recorded Hangout, and Donate. Be as cool as Monica. 'Cause
Donate,
you want
and
to be
also,
as cool as Monica.
and not just Catherine's page if you get a chance, and take a look at the pictures of the kids there. And basically, you should try and be as cool as them. Like when you go to her page, you're hit with a picture. Like there's a beautiful girl named Courtney, and she's, you know, like if you read through, it gives you like it gives you a face for each of these kids that is suffering from cancer.
Courtney really kills me. She was diagnosed at 2, and she died just before her 8th birthday. That child had such cringe. Her story breaks my heart. It just breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the important thing is that she fought bravely, and that is, you know, that is inspiring. And anybody who goes to the page, please, you know, be inspired by that courage and donate. Like, I don't want to get all tearful here because I also had a friend who died at a young age. But, you know, like, basically take that, you know, like, take your compassion, donate a couple bucks, and know that you're making a difference because it is a true, awesome cause.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, everyone, for participating. And we will end the broadcast now.